Man, it's time to shine. Welcome back to the channel, man. Appreciate y'all who've been tuned in. We 3 subscribers away from 600. So if you're new to this channel, you like the video, hey man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button, shit, hit the dislike button, hit the comment section. Just make sure you do something. Something. Anyways, let's get straight to this video. This video, I've reacted or broke down some of their content. This is on her personal page. On tonight's conversation. She's one of the women on tonight's conversation. And I've broke down a couple things from there. I like the combos that they have. It's actually a great ass name, Tonight's Conversation. Even though do they do all these videos at night to say tonight? I don't know. But anyway, this video is a breakdown, not a live reaction. We're just breaking it down. This is pretty much talking about emotionally intelligent people. I consider myself, I am an emotionally intelligent man, so I felt like, it's time to talk about this, talk about apologies. So let's get straight to it, man.
People, once again, are not emotionally intelligent. The way that I know that people are not, I see how people apologize. The most vulnerable act that you can do as a human is apologize. Because when you apologize, yes, that's one of the most vulnerable. Yes, because in that apology, whenever you are apologizing, right, this means this goes two ways. You are acknowledging that you have possibly stepped out of your integrity or your morality and offended somebody. That takes a
That's why I've always been a person, like, especially, like, it could be friendship or a relationship, especially. I've always said, bro, how you apologize with actions behind the apology, of course, it always matters, bro. Like, that's why some people don't even do apology. Like, nah, bro, you get one time to mess up with me and I'm out. But then those people aren't perfect themselves, so I always try to be a person who, do what I would want done for me. But with that being said, bro, how it's like you acknowledge what you did wrong, and then you apologize for it and tell them that you're gonna try to do better. It's just, I've always been a person like, just like oh, sorry about that, or like if it's something deep, it all depends though. If it's something like deep that you did, you know what I'm saying? It could be like if you hit like make sure you drop something on my foot. Oh, sorry about that. Like, oh, my fault. Like, that's cool. Like, I'm not talking, like, you got to be real specific because people gonna think you're talking about every last thing. It got to be a deep apology or whatever. That's not what it is. When it comes to that emotionally intelligent person, it's gonna be an apology, obviously with actions, but it's also gonna be like, why I'm sorry, where I stepped out of bounds with, et cetera, et cetera. We're talking about deep ass things, not if you just drop some shit on my foot. Like, you could drop it on my foot, on my fault. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. If you throw a low blow in the middle of a argument or something like that, I don't do low blows, but let's just say you did. It's like, you know what? I apologize. That wasn't the intent behind that. That was not how I wanted that to come off. I'm just, that's not what it was. I don't want you to think that that's who I am or what I do. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, or not even necessarily a low blow. Just you, what's it called? You might do something that I dislike a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you might. It should just be like, I'm sorry about that. I know that how much you don't like it, and I know that me probably doing it probably does rub you the wrong way. I'm going to work on not doing that. I apologize for that. Something like that. And then also follow it behind with actions. It's not that you're telling them it's not that you're telling them what to say. It's just like, bro, it's just a sincere apology. What I'm asking of you, I'm going to do as well. But let's keep going.
great level of vulnerability. In those apologies, most times there are two emotions and feelings that show up: guilt and shame.
Yep.
To be able to acknowledge that I feel guilty or I feel ashamed, there's some sort of shame, and I have to sit in this, understand it, so that way as I process it, I can apologize to you and actually admit that I have offended you and give you some type of plan of action to create some type of resolve.
Right.
People will scream, oh, I have a high EI, I have a high EQ. Do you apologize? How often do you apologize? Or you'll see people in relationships and you'll hear them talking, and then when you're like, did you apologize? Nah, I don't like apologizing. Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm big on apologies, bro. That's like, and you see, it's like I said, it's apologizing with actions, but I ain't gonna lie, if you ever come across someone who's not going to apologize and not going to take responsibility for things that they do, usually things repeat. Things cycles. For some reason, we're in a time where it's like people emulate what they didn't have or what they didn't see, right? They copy it. And then their excuse is, well, I didn't see it that often, or it didn't happen to me when I was coming up, or whatever. And it's like, how did that make you feel? I didn't like it. So why are you copying exactly something that you didn't like? Why are you becoming exactly what you despise? Why the fuck, what, that makes sense. You hated something, so you became it. That makes no sense. You know when they say a bully usually was a person getting bullied on, so they became it? Even though I've never really witnessed that in real life, that was only on some TV shit. But that's literally what it is. It's like you hated a person not apologizing to, whether it was your parents or your significant other, your past significant other, whatever the case may be. So what you did is you absorbed those traits and then you brought them into a new situation, or you brought them upon your children. That makes sense, bro? And then it's like, well, I didn't see it that much coming up. I'm not going to say that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, because you back then, a couple of months ago, I would have said that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. But now I'm going to say, now I have a new response to it. How did that make you feel? I learned that the way you go about things, you can get a better result out of people. Because back then I would have just been like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But now I'm going to be like, how did that make you feel? Just answer, how did you make it feel? Like literally, how did it make you feel? I didn't like it. You didn't like it because it was just like, why aren't you acknowledging what you did to me? Like, why, just because I'm a kid, or why do you have so much pride to apologize to your significant other? That's just how I felt. So you remember that feeling that those people gave you, and now you're copying it. And then you want to say your reasoning for copying it is because it wasn't done to you, even though you know you hated that feeling, you hated it, but now you're going to emulate it and then do it to the next people or do it to your own kids? Really? You think that's an efficient way to live? You think that's an efficient way to move? Say just like that. Emotionally intelligence. Obviously, we have our times where we slip up, where we get fed up, and we don't want to do all this doctor shit, because that's some doctor shit what I just did. Obviously, you have your moments where you ain't trying to do all that. But it's like sometimes you got to break it down like that. Like, that's how you... And if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. 9 times out of 10, what you just said is still going to... They might not get it right then and there, but what you said going to replay in their mind. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Because it's like we become exactly what we despise. We emulate shit that we didn't like. We didn't like being that person who, we didn't like being that person who put 80% into the relationship and then the other person put 20. Or we didn't like being the one who, quote unquote, tried the most. So what we did was we went and got into something else and became that person who didn't put the max effort, while that new person is putting the max effort now. That's what we do. We just emulate and copy shit that we didn't like. It's just inevitable. Like, we just, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And I be looking at situations like that. It's just not even just relationship with the kids too. Like, as a grown man, I know what it feels like to not have an apology as a kid from your own parent. I know what that feels like. So what I'm going to do is make sure my kids don't go through that. I'm going to fuck up on some other shit though, probably, because that's just, we're humans. But I'm going to acknowledge and take responsibility so I can teach my kids to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit be weird, bro. I rock with this woman. I rock with the whole tonight's conversation. Hopefully, I ain't gonna lie. Hopefully, I can get up there. Hopefully, what's the qualifications to be up there? I'm about to submit an application. You know what I'm saying? A mostly intelligent man running 2 YouTube channels, trying to strive and be great. What's the qualifications to be on you guys' channel? Y'all let me know. But anyways, man, that's the video, man. Actually, I want to run something back that she said right here.
Guilt and shame.
Yep.
To be able to acknowledge that I feel guilty or I feel ashamed. There's some sort of shame, and I have to sit in this, understand it, so that way as I process it, I can apologize to you and actually admit that I have offended you and give you some type of plan of action to create some type of resolve.
Right.
That's an efficient apology. It's not saying that you have to, people don't look at it as, oh, I have to do all this to apologize. If you look at it like that, you already might as well just don't even apologize. It's a healthy way of apologizing on both people, whether it's to your kids, whether it's to your significant other, whoever, friendship, whatever. It's just an efficient way to apologize. Usually when it comes to two dudes, we like, hey, my bad, bro. I wasn't even trying to do all that. My fault, bro. And it's like, all right, bro, it's good. You know what I'm saying? But when it's your kids or when it's a relationship, that's just an efficient way to apologize. It's just like what she said. It's emotional intelligence.
People will scream, "Oh, I have a high EI, I have a high EQ." Do you apologize? How often do you apologize? Or you'll see people in relationships and you'll hear them talking, and then when you're like, "Did you apologize?" "Nah, I don't like apologizing." "Oh, okay. Well, that tells me a lot."
That says everything you need to know about that person. I ain't gonna lie. That tells you a lot. Like, it's just like, bro, that ain't gonna. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how people are in relationships like that. People don't apologize. I ain't gonna lie, that ain't it. But anyways, man, if y'all like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Almost at 600 subscribers. Appreciate y'all, and I'm gone, man.